Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, you've been eating cereal all wrong.
Also, what's the Derpy McFlurry?
All that and more on the way next. In a Disney movie come to life, a corgi has led a group of kidnapped dogs on a 10-mile, 2-day journey back home safely.
My goodness.
It happened. 8772 Radio U and the talkback button in the new Radio U app. This happened in China. And to make matters worse and even more heroic, it's suspected that the reason that this group of dogs was kidnapped was to be sold into the meat trade.
Oh.
It's not illegal in China to eat dogs.
Yeah.
There's some areas where it is, but generally it's not. So it's suspected that these dogs were headed to be turned into dog food for people.
Yeah.
And somehow the dogs were able to get their way out of the truck that they were being transported in. And then they had to venture back to where they had come from 10 miles. It took them 2 days and they made it.
That's so crazy. I'm seeing the video of the dogs moving along the road, and I'm so glad. It says that they've been reunited with their families, and I'm hoping that reporting is true because this is giving me Homeward Bound vibes, which is like one of the saddest movies. Like I bawl my eyes out when I watch that film. I can't honestly fathom that movie was made for children because looking back on it now, I'm like, I was so traumatized by that film. But yeah, this is like a mix of that and also like Animal Farm almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a crazy
I just keep
story.
thinking Secret Life of Pets.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is Secret Life of Pets. It's a group of different dogs. There's all different breeds. Apparently they all came from the same area, but like these are dogs that may have known each other. Like that's why they stuck together, because they knew they could trust each other. It's hilarious that out of the group that included a German Shepherd and a Golden Retriever, a couple labs, it's crazy that the corgi was the leader.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That is a little wild that the corgi was the one moving them along.
And that the corgi had to go all this way, 10 miles, on its tiny little legs.
Yeah, it's even more impressive. So cute, and so glad that they made it home and were not turned into, meat, because that's just sad that that's allowed to still happen in any part of the world. But yeah, thankfully they were not turned into meat.
This shows the differences between China and the United States. Not obviously just that we wouldn't eat dogs, but that these dogs went 10 miles. It took them 2 days. So obviously a lot of people saw them. People saw them enough to make videos of it.
Yeah.
There's highways. There's dozens of cars passing on the street.
It looks like they're on the highway.
Yeah, they were hugging the shoulder. And that nobody stopped and was able to coax them in.
Yeah.
Or like happened to know somebody that was missing a dog.
Right.
That was like, hey, is this yours? And that these dogs had to do this whole journey on their own.
Yeah.
There's no shot that would happen in the United States.
Yeah, no. Immediately someone would be calling the police. They'd be calling animal control. These would get posted on Facebook all over the place.
Right.
Do you know the owner of this dog? And it would go viral and people would find their dogs.
And there is some, video, and it's like, oh, the dogs told people, they didn't want help. They were like, get away.
They told people?
They were like, yeah, when people would pull up, they'd be like,
they were barking at them or something?
They'd be like, get away from us. But come on. I still don't believe you could go 2 entire days as a group of 7 stray dogs in the United States and not somehow be captured and returned where you belong.
Yeah, no. In the United States, this would never happen.
It would never happen. But, well, we got a great movie pitch out of it.
Yeah.
What's the last new food you tried that you actually liked? Like, once you hit a certain age, it's hard to start trying new foods. When you're a kid, you can be picky, and but then you realize, like, maybe you were picky for no reason. After you become a certain age, you're just like, you know what? I think I know what I like. So what's yours, Allie? I
think I've become more adventurous the older I've gotten. So I try to mix it up a lot more than I did when I was younger. But I actually just tried new food for the first time on Saturday because I went to a food hall, which always has lots of different types of food. So I tried Somalian food for the first time.
Okay.
So
what does that mean?
like food from Somalia.
No, I know that. I mean, like, what was it?
It was Somalian rice and chicken, vegetables. It was almost like what you would consider almost like a Chipotle bowl.
Okay.
But it was all like spiced with Somalian spice and cooked in a different way than what we would probably cook it. But it was really, really good.
And so now you have a whole new world opened up to you.
Exactly. I'm like, I want to go back there.
Yeah. Now you have a whole new like list of restaurants you could be trying that if you were just looking for somewhere to eat before, it was like you would have just ignored it.
Yeah. Well, I would have not known that I liked Somalian food.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, this is a little different, but the last one that sticks in my mind, and this has been a while now, it's not like it was a week ago, but when I realized that I liked ranch dressing.
Oh.
That you could just like put that on stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember the moment that I realized that I liked ranch because when I was growing up, I would have never had it. If I had a salad, I would have had Thousand Island. I wouldn't have even put ranch on a salad.
Wow.
Now I put ranch on all kinds of stuff, and that's the beauty of it. Is once I put one thing in ranch, which I'm pretty sure was probably some kind of chicken wing, and I was like, hey, this isn't bad. And then I started putting it, and then it's like, oh, you can make so many things better with this ranch. It opens a whole new world to you.
Sure.
And that is what God is like. When you are a picky eater, you're like, this is what I like, this is what I like. And you look at things and you're like, I would never even try that. You might be looking at God going, I would never even try that. Like, what's the point? I know I don't like it.
Yeah.
But then you add God to something and you're like, whoa, wait. Now actually my life has improved a little bit.
I see what people are saying.
Yeah, and then then there's more and more areas that you can start branching out. Oh, frozen pizza. It's a cheap meal. It's okay, but you add ranch to it, and all of a sudden, whoa, this is actually like pretty good. I'm actually enjoying the frozen pizza that I paid $5 for. It opens up whole new worlds to you. This is what Jesus wants to do. He wants to come into your life and start in one area. Maybe you're like, I'm a little unsure, but then you go and you find out that it's not that bad, and then you find out, oh, this is actually huge.
Yeah.
This is changing my world. That's what God can do for you. Let God be the ranch in your life.
Let him be I believe Jesus himself calls himself the bread of life. He could be considered the ranch of life.
Yeah.
I had friends that would translate the Bible into like rare languages the Bible had not been translated in. And bread in a certain language was considered like a luxury.
Okay.
And so they translated that verse, bread of life, into like something that would make more sense for the people.
Dubai chocolate.
Ranch of life makes sense for Hudson.
Exactly.
So, let Jesus be the ranch in your life.
I'm just saying, you might think, oh, I know what condiments I like. I like barbecue sauce and honey mustard. That's what I like. But, then maybe God's your honey mustard. But I'm just saying, if you've always been like, I would never try adding garlic parmesan to something. Maybe you should.
Maybe try
that's
God.
Jesus. Yeah. Maybe Jesus is your garlic parmesan. Who knows? We are getting not one, but two new Kpop Demon Hunters themed Happy Meals.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well, how has it taken this long, honestly? I'm surprised that we haven't seen this before.
Nobody knew when they were making Kpop Demon Hunters that it was going to be this.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that anybody would care. They were like, we think we made a halfway decent movie, but they didn't know that they had a hit on their hands.
Yeah, they had no idea it would sweep all the animated Oscars and all of that.
They didn't know it'd be like the number one movie for children for who knows how long.
Yeah.
They didn't know it'd be like Frozen for this generation.
Right.
But now, so that's why it took so long. But now we get not one, but two different Kpop Demon Hunters themed meals that launch at McDonald's on March 31st. That's Tuesday. If you go at breakfast time, you get the Saja Boys breakfast meal.
Nice.
A sausage McMuffin with egg, topped with spicy Saja sauce. They got a special sauce.
They got a special sauce and spicy for the kids? That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I don't know. The Saja Boys, they do kind of like to spice it up.
They definitely do.
They also get hash browns and a small soft drink, which clearly needs to be a soda pop.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Then if you go any other time of day, the Huntrix meal, which includes a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, a medium soft drink, Ramyeon McShaker fries. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Ramyeon.
Ramyeon?
That is fries seasoned with soy, garlic, sesame, and spice. But I think, if I remember right, they've done this before. The shaker fries, they did this with like the pickle thing, right? Where like you get a packet of seasoning.
And then you can sprinkle.
And it comes in a bag and you're supposed to shake it up.
Yes.
Yeah. So you also have the option to not do that. You get hunter sauce, another special sauce, and then another special sauce, the purple demon sauce.
Oh.
Dangerous.
Interesting that wasn't also put with the Saja boys, considering they are the demons.
I guess maybe it wouldn't take. What? Spoiler alert. So is Rumi. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so it works. It still works.
It definitely still works.
Every meal also comes with a collectible card pack featuring a photo card of either Huntrix or the Saja boys. Oh, and this is my favorite part. They also are making a new McFlurry.
What?
I can't believe I didn't get to that before because it's my favorite thing. It's a Derpy McFlurry.
A Derpy McFlurry?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's vanilla soft serve with berry popping pearls and a wild berry sauce. So it's not just like, oh, let's make something purple and call it new. They've never put popping pearls in a McFlurry before.
I don't think so, no. This looks actually really good.
And here's another reason why they took so long to do this, because they actually sound like they put some creativity and intention into it.
Well, I'm seeing...
Instead of just being like, let's put a picture of the K-pop demon hunters on a cup and call it a meal.
Right. I am seeing, though, the marketing materials for it, like the box and the thing that the fries are in and the sauces. Like, it all looks really cool. They put a lot of effort into it.
This is real.
It was worth the wait,
apparently. It takes time to print up all those boxes and all this stuff and put those orders in.
So the next question is, are we going to try this?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just joking. Why would we not try it? Of course we're going to try it. What kind of question is that?
These are the biggest things that McDonald's come out with since the Big Arch.
It's not even a question. We are trying this.
Yes,
we're definitely having this next week.
We got to go during the time of day when you can buy both of them or whatever. Or
is that a time of day?
I think there's a time when they still serve like breakfast and they start serving lunch stuff, right?
I don't think so.
There's like a 1 hour lap over or something.
Maybe on the weekends.
I thought it was every day. Like if you go by 10 o'clock, you could start getting lunch stuff, but they'll still allow you to order breakfast.
All right.
From like 10 and 11.
It sounds like you have a vision for this.
I just want to make sure we get to try both.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you, and you can just maybe we can just pull some strings at McDonald's, and we can just set it up so that they'll give us both.
That would be nice.
No matter what time of day it is.
Yes, that would be nice, so we could try them here on the show.
Good news. I don't know if you saw this story from over the weekend of Reacher star Alan Ritchson beating up at one of his neighbors.
Oh, I did not.
Did you see this?
Man, that guy's huge. I feel bad for the neighbor.
Yeah, of all the people you probably don't want to be beat up by.
Definitely don't pick a fight with him.
It's Alan Richardson. He's massive. But he's been cleared. He's not going to be charged with anything, even though he beat the guy, his neighbor, to pretty much a pulp.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a video of this guy of the neighbor,
the altercation,
yeah, there is. But there's also a video of the neighbor trying to explain himself. He's got like a massive gash across his forehead, looking ridiculous. But apparently, the neighbor was getting upset with Alan Richardson for riding his motorcycle up and down the street.
Okay.
And so I guess he had yelled at him a few times, the neighbor did, and then eventually came as he was going by and pushed him off his motorcycle.
No.
And so that is why Alan Richardson went ahead and was justified in beating this guy up because he knocked him off his motorcycle.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm seeing the video. He like stepped right in front of him, pretty much made him crash.
Yeah.
That's not cool. What the heck was he thinking?
I guess he was, he thought he was riding the motorcycle too loudly, speeding, so that he thought he was being dangerous, and he's like, you know what I should do? I'll teach him a lesson.
I'm going to beat him up.
Yeah. But he picked a fight that he definitely should have known better than to get into because Alan Richardson definitely won.
Yeah.
And now Alan Richardson, I don't think the guy, well, let's see. It says after reviewing the video evidence, police decided that he was acting in self-defense, Alan Richardson was, and so that's why he's not going to face any charges. But I also feel like the neighbor kind of realizes that it was stupid.
Yeah, I would hope
getting
so.
punched in the face repeatedly by Alan Richardson kind of does that to you, I guess.
Jogs your brain.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do this?
You get a little wake-up call when that happens.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know why the heck he would even think that this was a good idea to step in front of a guy riding a motorcycle.
This happened in Tennessee, out of the places where you think like loud motorcycle riding would actually be okay. I feel like Tennessee would be one of them.
Yeah, although the neighborhood in the videos that you can see is like very, very affluent, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's Alan Richardson.
is rich.
They don't call him Rich for nothing.
Yeah.
Richardson for nothing.
But I would think that that's not the typical neighborhood where you would be having like motorcycle races down the street, you know? And so, yeah, maybe the neighbors aren't used to having a loud motorcycle.
If Alan Richardson pays all this money to have this nice home and he can't even ride his motorcycle in the street.
Yeah.
What good is that home anyway?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. And but do I think he was justified to beat the guy up entirely? Probably not, but okay.
The guy
He definitely tried to make him crash.
Yeah. Why is it so hard for wide receivers to just be normal? 8772 Radio U. I know that's painting with a broad brush. There's definitely some NFL receivers that are pretty normal. I mean, Mike Evans hasn't gotten into a lot of trouble, right?
Yeah.
For example, he's the first one that jumps to mind, a long career without any notable dust-ups.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of NFL receivers that just seem to always be doing silly stuff.
Things and just getting involved in stuff that you're just like, why are you doing this?
8772 Radio U and the talkback button in the new Radio U app. This is the latest. Puka Nacua, he's starting to create a name for himself as the new wild man in the receiving world of the NFL because a woman has filed a temporary restraining order trying to get that approved against Puka Nacua after she accused him of biting her multiple times.
What?
And making anti-Semitic remarks, which I don't know if you can specifically just get a restraining order for that, but that'd be one, that's one thing to say, oh, somebody said that, but Puka Nacua has been accused of this before.
Oh.
And I know it's always accusations or like maybe somebody didn't know or whatever, but it's also pretty easy to not be accused of that.
Yes. I've never been accused of biting someone.
Yeah.
Other than maybe when I was
That's really easy to not be accused of.
Yeah.
For that, in that regard, even Puka Nacua's attorney seems to kind of admit that he did bite her.
No way.
Yeah. The attorney, Levi McCathern, says that the conduct was horseplay.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You know how you horseplay around with women and bite them? Classic horseplay.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Sure.
No big deal.
Oh,
Restraining order because of horseplay. What's one or two bite marks among friends?
I love the qualifications, the explanation and excuse. That's wild.
The attorney says that it was just a temporary mark.
What?
It wasn't a permanent bite mark. It's just temporary.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah, I mean, she has pictures that she submitted, the woman, of the bite marks in question. She was bit by somebody.
Yeah.
She says it was Puka Nacua.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
What the heck? Dang, bro. What are you doing?
I'm telling you, Puka Nacua, it's so... Again, there's something about NFL receivers that there's just always at least a handful that are like getting into this kind of stuff. But it's also, you could so easily just not.
Yeah.
You could not
just
bite people.
Just don't do this.
For whatever reason.
Like, this is fully like, bro, your teeth, like, we could compare dental records and figure out that this is you.
Yeah.
Like, this is, bro. What the heck were you thinking? Not thinking is the real answer.
Yeah. And, he's a unique, because I feel like like Antonio Brown was obviously
that's
a wild
the one
man
who
too.
I keep thinking about as you say the thing about the wide receivers.
But to me, Antonio Brown, it doesn't excuse what he was doing because he did a million crazy things and I feel like he still continues to.
Yeah.
But when he was in the NFL, he was like one of the most insanely talented guys.
For sure.
And so maybe your tolerance of it would go up to a little further point than it would with some other people that are just barely on the roster. Puka Nacua, as good as he's been for the couple seasons with the Rams, I also feel like Sean McVay would just as easily like replace him in a second if this stuff gets too weird. And it's getting to the point where I feel like it's too weird.
It's getting weird. You gotta change your ways, Puka.
Yeah. I mean, you should change anyways.
Yes.
You should not be biting people.
Yeah, well, that's
You should
what
not
I
be
mean.
making anti-Semitic
Whether
remarks.
you play in the NFL or not, you should
Yeah.
change your ways, not just for financial benefit. But yeah, I mean, I believe that people can change, and please change because this is unacceptable.
It's so easy.
Don't do this.
Don't bite people. You learn it in preschool.
Yes.
If I offered you $26 million, there's probably not much you wouldn't sell to me, right?
I mean, maybe. There'd be a couple things I wouldn't.
Yeah, probably not much.
Yeah.
877-2-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the new Radio U app. A woman in Kentucky has turned down $26 million for her farm.
Okay.
A artificial intelligence company, we don't know which one, made Ida Hiddleston an offer they thought she probably couldn't refuse. $26 million for her farm, like it's some kind of movie.
Yeah, this feels like a movie.
For her 1,200 acres of farmland outside of Maysville in northern Kentucky. She turned him down.
She said no.
She said no, which is actually an amazing move.
Yeah.
Apparently, her farm has been in the family for generations.
Wow.
So obviously it means a lot, but also sounds like she's a little suspicious of these companies building these giant data centers, and possibly rightfully so. I've heard some things that make me a little unsettled as well. There's a lot of communities that don't want these things going up.
Yeah.
And so she literally put her money where her mouth is and said, I will not take $26 million. You can take this farm from my cold, dead body.
Oh, man. I hope her family stands as strong for her as she is doing for them when she passes, because she's 82 years old. So I hope she lives many more years, obviously. But I hope her family does not give in to these offers. I hope they keep this family farm. Clearly, it means so much to her that she's willing to turn down $26 million. So much money.
Yeah. She says, her quote is, "It's a scam." I just keep thinking of Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. She also said, they call us stupid old farmers, but we're not. We know whenever our food is disappearing, our lands are disappearing, and we don't have any water, and that poison, well, we've had it. Apparently, she's talking about how there's been accusations of ground poisoning and water shortages near other data centers. And I've also heard that my main concern is that these data centers will come in, and then because they're using so much like energy, it actually, I don't know how it exactly works, but basically, you wind up paying more for electricity because the data center is using so much electricity, so your price goes up.
Yeah, that's no fun. We don't want that. I was recently passing through a neighborhood in where I used to drive home from work every day. I had not been over there in a long, long time, and they were installing in this neighborhood, which used to be a beautiful prairie-like valley. Solar panels and stuff, like a whole solar farm, which I don't want to get into that as far as like political stuff, but just so you know, it looks really bad compared to what it used to look like. And almost all of the houses around it for sale signs. Almost all of them. Nobody wants to live by that.
So they can make more space
maybe the solar panel place can buy them.
Buy it up,
yeah, and tear down the houses or something. But yeah, people don't like to live beside like those type of things, whether it's solar panels or wind farms or these big data centers and stuff. People they're not happy with this stuff anymore.
The sad thing is though, this woman, she turned down the $26 million for her farm, but the reality is this company probably just went to the farm next door and offered them $28 million and they took it. So
yeah, it's true. Somebody's going to accept that offer.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she didn't do the right thing.
Yeah, I think she
should
did.
not be applauded for it.
Yes, she absolutely should be applauded.
Tonight is opening night for the MLB, which definitely feels wrong. It's supposed to be opening day.
Right.
There's supposed to be every team in action all day long. But instead, that's tomorrow, and tonight we get the Yankees versus Giants on Netflix for some reason. Allie, will you be watching?
I might tune in at the beginning. I doubt I'll watch the whole game, but I do have to say, while I would much prefer this to be opening day and we get games throughout the day starting at like 11 a.m., I do appreciate this more than like starting the season in a time zone where it's like I can't really watch the game.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah, was it last year when they not only did it was the Dodgers and somebody, because it's always the Dodgers.
I think it was a couple years
in
ago.
Japan.
Yeah.
Or Korea.
I think it was
they may
Korea.
have done.
Yeah.
And not only is it obviously a different time zone than our own and everything, which, obviously, but it was like 2 weeks before the actual season started.
It was 2 weeks. And if you do fantasy baseball, those stats counted.
It makes no sense.
In that first game. And Yamamoto, it was like his first ever appearance for the Dodgers. He got lit up in the first inning, and people had already, drafted him or whatever. And so those stats were not good.
Yeah.
They were not good.
I understand they want to grow the game, and baseball is very popular in Asia. So it's fine having games there.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense to have regular season games that count for the season.
Right.
2 weeks before the season starts, then have those teams come back and play more spring training games, and then go back to the
Which
season.
is exactly what happened, and it was very odd.
It's like if they played an NFL game, the Hall of Fame game was played in Argentina, and it counted, and then there was a whole preseason, and then they started the NFL season. It makes no sense.
It really was very odd.
But they've done that multiple times in baseball.
They have done it multiple times.
Sense.
And so I do, while I'm not a huge fan of this, I do appreciate it more than that.
I guess it's an improvement.
Yeah, it's better. I get that they want to make the first game in baseball, like the first game of the season, a big deal. I get it. But
if they want to do that, maybe not put it on Netflix.
Yeah, that's another part of this.
Imagine if it was the Guardians, how thoroughly upset you would be, because you don't have a Netflix subscription.
No, I do. I do have a Netflix subscription.
You normally don't.
But I normally don't.
Yeah.
And when it expires, I'm not going to get it back.
Well, you might want to in case the Guardians ever play on there.
Yeah, right. I should be worried. Do we know how often the games will be on Netflix?
I don't actually think there's very many. Okay. I think it's like the home run derby in this game, and that might be it.
Okay, well then I'm safe.
But what if Chase DeLauder's in the home run derby?
Well, I'll get it in July. Maybe I'll start it back up then.
Anyways, it's annoying, but the good news is tomorrow's actual opening day. Hashtag not my opening day tonight. We have a fantasy baseball league we're trying to run here at Radio U. It's really just our excuse to play fantasy baseball and call it work. I guess that doesn't necessarily work for you because you don't work for Radio U, but you can still join and compete against some of the Radio U DJs, including Allie and myself.
Yes, if you want the link, text baseball to 8772 Radio U, and you can join us in this fantasy baseball league. We're going to have our draft on Saturday, so it's a little after the season starts, but that gives us a little more time to invite people in.
Yeah, and a lot of people that actually, do real jobs for a living. Hopefully they don't work on Saturday.
Yes.
You can actually participate. Text the word baseball to 8772 Radio U. We'll send you the link to join. A etiquette expert with 4 million followers has gone viral for explaining the proper way to eat cereal.
Oh.
There's a proper way to eat cereal. 8772 Radio U, the talkback button in the new Radio U app. This guy's name is William Hansen. And what is extra crazy about this is the proper, polite way to eat breakfast cereal involves a fork.
Involves a fork?
You're supposed to have a fork if you want to be polite while you're eating your cereal.
Okay.
Do you want to know the correct way to eat cereal?
Sure.
Okay, so you have your bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
You have a spoon in one hand, your dominant hand, you would use the spoon.
Okay.
Now, he also helpfully explains, if you were eating soup, I guess you scoop the soup away from you. I suppose maybe that's so it doesn't wouldn't splash back on yourself.
I feel like
scooping towards yourself.
I feel like I have heard of that, even though that's not what any of us do.
Yeah, definitely not. But I can see how that could work.
Sure.
How that might be a wise move. But for cereal, you use your dominant hand, you scoop towards yourself with the spoon, but in your offhand, you use your fork to push the cereal onto
shovel it
the
on?
fork. So yeah, they kind of work in tandem, and then you have a spoonful of cereal, and then you would eat it.
Okay.
That's the correct, proper way to
man.
eat your cereal.
That relieves me a tad bit because I was worried that he was going to say you just straight up eat it with a fork.
Mm-hmm. But then what would happen to the milk?
Yeah, I'm like, what? How do you do this? So I'm at least happy to hear the spoon is still in use.
Mm-hmm.
You just have the aid of the fork
Right.
to help shovel onto the spoon.
Yeah. I'm just wondering in what instance and what venue would you need to eat cereal properly?
Yeah, like
when would this come up?
When would this formal setting of cereal need to happen?
Because when I'm typically eating cereal alone in the kitchen over the sink at 3 a.m., I don't know why. Who cares about manners at that point?
Yeah. Like you're not even sitting at a table.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to not get it all over my face, get milk in my beard. And then if I was out somewhere, if I was in a setting where they serve me cereal, as soon as you serve me cereal, I'm thinking, okay, we can be we're friends here. We can be casual.
Yeah.
We don't need to be too proper. So I just can't imagine what scenario you'd be in where you'd be eating cereal and be like, hold on, I need to do this properly.
Right.
What is this advice helpful for?
No one, other than he wants to go viral.
Yeah.
He
has shared some other interesting tips because this is just his whole thing. He is a etiquette coach that has worked in 6 royal households.
It feels very royal.
Yeah.
But none of us are royal.
And the thing with the royals is, right, they make the rules they can eat cereal however they want.
It's
so
true.
Why do they need to know? If anybody, they shouldn't be having cereal with other people around. Right?
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, it's true. I would think that the royals could kind of just set their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very obsessed with tradition.
Yeah.
And they are very much like, they have an image to keep up with. So I understand why they hire, experts like these to train their kids and teach them how to do certain things. And it always reminds me of like Princess Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
When they're, Anne Hathaway has to learn all of the different things of how to eat stuff and how to fold her legs correctly and how to walk and all of that.
I do feel like one helpful tip this guy does have.
Okay.
As an etiquette expert, William Hanson, he says that it's very bad manners to correct other people's etiquette in front of other people. So let that be a reminder to everybody that it's not polite to call other people out in front of other people.
Yeah, just let them mess up on their own.
He says it's better, he goes, this is a quote, it's much better to lead by example, even if that's just a touch passive aggressive, which is the way I love to do things. That I can definitely get with that. Who wants to recline on an airplane when you could relax?
Oh.
Thanks to a new feature just announced by United Airlines, the Relax Row.
Okay.
This is they're basically presenting it as a more affordable version of business class.
Okay.
Where you would have the ability to lay down on an airplane while you're riding.
That sounds nice.
They call it the Relax Row. It's launching, taking off in 2027 on some certain flights. And what it really is basically you just get 3 seats all side by side, but then they have leg rests that flip up to make a flat surface so you could lay down across the 3.
Okay, and create like a little bed.
Yeah.
That's like in the row.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
Do you?
It only would work for short people though.
I'm looking at like a normal sized lady curled up and it's not even long enough for her to lie complete,
Yeah, like
all
with
the
all
way
the
stretched
legs
out.
stretched
She's
out.
curled in the fetal position.
Yeah.
Also, with a seat belt across her while she's laying down.
They make you do that. They make you do that. I remember on super long flights, they'd be like, "We need to see your seatbelt." Even if you had like a blanket on you, they would make you put the seatbelt over the blanket. So, yeah. But let me tell you, Hudson. I would take whatever it is, even if I'm not able to fully stretch my legs out all the way, but I'm short, so I probably could. I would take any way to lie down on a 16-hour flight.
Yeah.
When you're on a 16-hour flight, you're dreaming of beds. You're dreaming of places where you can lay flat because you're not able to do that.
Yeah.
And so any way that you can do that that's a little cheaper than business class, I could definitely see myself wanting.
It's cheaper than business class, but keep in mind that they haven't announced what the pricing will be for this.
I'll be interested to see what that is.
Let's all just recognize that it's essentially you're getting 3 seats
you're paying for
just
3
for yourself.
seats.
They do say fly single or mingle, and they show like couples and families taking up these 3, but obviously they're probably not going to let you have more than 3 people either.
Right.
But there is a way, like if you're a mom with 2 kids, as I'm seeing here, that you could definitely fit there and have that as your little bed nap time area or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you're paying for, if you're alone, like you would be, like you or one other person, like you'd be paying for 3 seats probably, realistically. So that makes it maybe still cheaper than business class, but at that point, maybe you should just get business class.
Maybe you should just splurge and get the business class. I don't know. But man, yeah, I just remember on those long flights how desperately I wanted to lay down. I don't know if I'm desperate enough to pay for 3 seats, but I know how hard it is to make it through those long flights without being able to lay down completely.
Yeah. It's
Especially
an upgrade.
If you have kids.
It's an upgrade, but can we afford it? We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. The question is, would you rather have chicken finger fingers or ears of corn ears? And you can let us know your thoughts. But we asked the first question, but Julian asked the $1 million question in this, right?
Okay.
Which is, if eaten, do they grow back?
Oh.
And this is what I'm talking about I feel like this is a game where you make your own rules. Do you want, obviously it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But I still feel like depending on what the answer is, still could influence, you could still choose either one depending on the answer to that.
Right.
Because maybe you're thinking if eaten, they don't grow back, then you eat your chicken fingers and then they're gone.
Yeah.
You have no fingers the rest of your life.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want those rules.
But you could eat chicken fingers. You could eat your chicken fingers, and you'd always have food. But then you also have chicken fingers still.
Yeah, right. So which is worse?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we heard from Susanna. She said ears of corn seems much less problematic. I'd have to figure out how to wear my mic headset for teaching jazzercise, but that's way better than greasy, crumbly fingers that break easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I also, Regina said ears of corn as well, because they would probably be uncooked, out of sight, and then I wouldn't be tempted to eat them.
All right.
And her husband agrees.
Okay.
I also think that I would go with ears of corn ears.
Okay.
And that is because whether the chicken fingers grow back or not, you would have no fine motor control with your hand. You essentially would not have hands.
Yeah.
So therefore, then it's kind of, but obviously your ears of corn, if you place your ears with ears of corn, you wouldn't be able to hear.
Yeah.
So which handicap would you rather have?
Right.
No hands or not being able to hear. That's tough, but I think it's not being able to hear.
Yeah, I think I would go for the same. I'd much rather have my fingers so that I can do cardio drumming or type or, drive.
Use
whatever.
A phone.
Yeah.
How are you going to use a phone with chicken fingers?
Use a remote. Hold a baby. Just all the things that you need to do with hands. Cook.
And imagine the way dogs would treat you if you had chicken fingers.
Oh, they'd be biting
You could
them.
never pet one.
Yeah. They'd be biting them off.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian also chimed back in after asking that question. He says, I can live with nubs, chicken fingers.
The good thing about chicken fingers, especially if they grow back, you would always have chicken fingers to eat.
And we all know I love chicken tenders.
Yeah.
I love them.
Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, you just have those tenders always constantly on your person. That'd be a beautiful thing. Although, again, if they're your hands, they're going to be getting furry. They're going to be getting nasty.
Ugh, moldy.
Do you really want to eat those?
No, thank you. I love chicken tenders too much to allow them to be my hands.
You would have to you'd have to like chop them off after every time you go to the bathroom because you couldn't eat them after that.
Yeah. And would that hurt? I would imagine that would hurt.
Oh,
right?
do you have feeling in your chicken finger fingers?
Do your neurons go down into your, does your nervous system get attached to the chicken fingers?
I think case closed. I think ears of corn. Ears is definitely the way to go.
It's the way to go.
You gotta go with it.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.